Alright, in this example, we're going to do the same thing, long division. Now, before you do any kind of dividing, always ask, do you have any missing terms? Let's check. Starting with my first term, x to the fourth, I'm going to count down by 1 for the exponents. So my exponent is 4, I'm going to count down. What comes next should be 3, which I do have it. Then count down one more time, which should be 2, I do have it. Now count down one more time, should be 1, I don't have that, so I need to include that. So I'm going to rewrite it. So let's rewrite our division problem. So 3x to the fourth plus 5x to the third plus 11x squared. Since we didn't have x to the 1 power, I'm going to use plus 0x. And then after x to the 1 power, so say that I write right here, just there you can see all the exponent, you should have a constant number. Here we did not have a constant number, so I'm going to add a plus 0 for our constant number. And then let's check our divisor. It's 3x to the 1 power. So after that, you should have a constant number. In this case, we do, plus 2. So our divisor is also fine. So I have all the terms I would need in my dividend, and then I have all my terms in my divisor. So next, we're going to set up for long division. So my divisor will be right here, 3x plus 2. And then my dividend will be inside, so 3x to the fourth plus 5x to the third plus 11x squared plus 0x to the 1 power plus 0. Alright, so let's do the same process in the last example. My 3x here and my 3x to the fourth. The first term of my divisor and my dividend. So I'm going to write right here. So 3x to the fourth divided by 3x to the 1 power. So 3x, so let's focus on just a number. 3 divided by 3 will be 1. X to the fourth divided by x to the 1 power. Basically, we're going to subtract the exponents, 4 minus 1, which is 3. So let me write it over here, 1 x to the third power. And then I'm going to use the 1 x to the third power multiplied to my divisor. So 3x plus 2. So 1 x to the third times 3x, it will be 3x to the fourth. 1x to the third times 2 will be plus 2x to the third. And then I'm going to bring it over here. So 3x to the fourth plus 2x to the third. Parenthesis, minus. Alright, when I distribute this minus to 3x to the fourth, these two will cancel out. When I distribute this minus to this positive 2x to the third, this will become negative 2x to the third. So therefore, this will be 5x to the third minus 2x to the third. That will be positive 3x to the third. Then I'm going to bring down the 11x squared. So plus 11x squared. Be very careful with your signs. So if this is a plus, that should also be a plus. Alright. So I'm going to align this 3x to the third. Repeat the same process. So 3x to the third divided by 3x to the invisible 1 power. So 3 divided by 3 will be 1. X to the third divided by x to the 1 power will be x squared. So let me put plus, since it's positive, 1x squared. So I'm going to use the 1x squared multiply to our divisor. So 3x plus 2. Alright, 1x squared times 3x, that will be 3x to the third power. 1x squared times positive 2 will be plus 2x squared. And then I'm going to bring it over here. So 3x to the third power plus 2x squared, parenthesis, and then the minus. Alright, when I distribute the minus to this 3x to the third, these two will cancel out. Now, when I distribute this minus to the positive 2x squared, it will become negative 2x squared. So it will be 11x squared minus 2x squared. Then this will be 9x squared. And then I'm going to bring down to 0x plus 0x. So now I'm going to repeat the same process as here. I'm going to erase to make more room. I underline 9x squared, so I'm going to write 9x squared over here, divided by 3x to the 1 power. Alright, 9 divided by 3 is 3. X squared divided by x to the 1 power is simply x to the 1 power, but you don't have to write it. So I'm going to write plus 3x. So I'm going to use the 3x, multiply to my divisor, so 3x plus 2. So 3x times 3x, that will be 9x squared. 3x times 2 will be plus 6x. And then I'm going to bring it over here, so 9x squared plus 6x, parenthesis, and then subtract. So when I distribute this minus to the 9x squared, it will be 9x squared minus 9x squared. This will cancel out. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to distribute this minus to my positive 6x, so it will become negative. So it will be 0x minus 6x. Then I'm going to have negative 6x. And then I'm going to bring down my 0. So plus 0. So I'm going to repeat the same process. So 6x divided by 3x, that will become, well, hold on, I went too fast. This is a negative 6x, so this should be a negative right here. Negative 6x divided by 3x will be negative 2. So I'm going to write my minus 2 up here. Be very careful with our signs. So negative 2 times my divisor, 3x plus 2. So negative 2 times 3x will be negative 6x. Negative 2 times positive 2 will be minus 4. Alright, I'm going to bring it back over here. Negative 6x minus 4. Parenthesis, and then the minus. So, when I distribute the minus to this negative 6x, this will become positive 6x. So now you have negative 6x plus 6x. This will cancel out. Then when I distribute the minus to this negative 4, it becomes positive 4. So it's 0 plus 4. My remainder is 4. Now the reason it's my remainder is that we're down to our last term, which is a constant number. There's no more terms to work with, so this is my remainder. So now I'm going to write my final answer according to what I have up here. So it's, now since it's 1x to the third, I can just write x to the third. Since it's plus 1x squared, I can write plus x squared plus 3x and then minus 2. Since my remainder is a positive 4, I'm going to write plus and then the 4 on top of the fraction. My denominator will be my divisor, so 3x plus 2. So our final answer is x to the third plus x squared plus 3x minus 2 plus 4 over 3x plus 2. So that's going to be our final answer. Let me box that up. So again, since it was 1x to the third and 1x squared, I didn't have to write the 1, but if you do write it, it's okay. It still means the same thing, so you don't lose any points off on there. Now, again, be very careful with our sign. To review right here, we had negative 6x, and then when I divide by 3x, that became a negative 2. So be very careful with our signs. Now, one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that make sure that when you're doing long division that you keep your work organized. Now, you see how I have my work organized here so that I can backtrack if somehow I feel uncomfortable with my answer or I think I made a small mistake. Then you can backtrack in your work, because as you can see, this is a lot of writing. You don't want to mess up and don't know where you need to fix it. So make sure to keep your work neat and organized so that you can backtrack and see what you need to fix, versus erasing the whole thing and then restarting from the beginning. It would be pointless if you erase the whole thing to restart when there's so much work you have to write. So be very careful, write your work neat and very organized so that you can see your whole work and understand the whole process.